Okay, so as I was saying, Patsy was telling me that she was going through some medical issues, and they they dealt with some problems that she was having with her spouse, and that she had acquired high blood pressure because her spouse was so, I guess, somehow not treating her very well. And yes, and now the reason why I'm saying these things is because I would like to find Patsy so that she knows, hopefully she will remember me. And I've been asking God to please help me to find her. And I felt terrible because she said that, you know, it was the blood, the high blood pressure was, she said it was really bad, and it was so severe that she had gone through a really, really tough time emotionally. And she really stressed that what she was going through was primarily because of the high levels of stress that her husband was putting her through. And I felt so bad, guys, because, oh, guys, she was so sweet. I'm telling you, she was made of sugar. Patsy also, she told me that she was hoping that, I think she said that she was hoping that things would turn around for her and she'll get better. And, and I pray, guys, I always pray for her. I always pray for Patsy. I always pray for her. And one time I was saying, Father, I would love to see her in heaven. Like at times, I used to say, Lord, I want to see her in heaven, but now I want to see her here before that time. I want to see her. I would like to find her somehow. Patsy has black hair. It was long up to her shoulders. She had bangs. And she was petite. Like I said, she was about 4'7". And an average body, she was healthy. And I asked Patsy, where she was going, like what street, what stop does she get off at? And she told me that she needs to get to Osgood Station, which is well past where I was needing to get off. So she was needing to get off at, I don't know what street you need to get off at in order to get to Osgood Station, but she was getting off well past where I needed to get off. I would say maybe 15 minutes. She would have to say something like that, maybe 15 minutes still on the streetcar before, like after I got off, she would have to stay at least 15 more minutes to get to the stop that would take her, the bus stop to Osgood Station. And so, by the way, I was on Queen Street. So if Patsy, if you're listening to this, I hope you remember me. And Yes, I got on. It was the Queen Street streetcar, and you got on around maybe between 3 and 4 stops later. Yes, and then we started talking. And so, yes, and so I miss Patsy, guys. I really miss her. And sometimes, guys, you know when people have such an effect on you that all you have to do is just think about them and they bring like a comforting feeling over you. If you have ever met someone like that, or if you have someone like that in your life, whether they are related to you or not, all you do is just think about them when you're feeling down, you're feeling distressed, maybe you're just feeling sad somehow or depressed, and all you have to do is just think about them. And thinking about them is like a warm blanket, a cozy blanket, something that gives you comfort. They just bring on a feeling of comfort, safety, happiness, joy, right? That's the kind of person that that's the kind of person that Patsy is. God brought a person like that into my life, at a time when I was needing someone like that in my life at that time. I was about to just, cry a lot, and he brought somebody into my life at the right hour that was going to help me to calm down and also to bring a lot of comfort. And that's what Patsy did. And so this is why I'm so grateful to her. And all she did was smile. She was always smiling. The moment she got on, she was just looking at everybody. And guys, she had this big smile, so bright and so friendly, and throwing so much love at everybody. She didn't know anybody. And that's the first thing when she got on, all she did was smile. The moment I noticed her, like she gets on and you notice her. All you saw was smiles from side, she was looking from side to side, looking everywhere, just smiling. Just smiling. So much love was coming out of her eyes and her mouth from her smile, But at that hour, like I said, when she first got on with the walker, I was annoyed. And even though I noticed that she was getting on with all this love coming out of her, I was still annoyed because when she stopped in front of me with the walker, I got annoyed because I'm like, I don't want this walker in front of me. Oh, I'm so annoyed, But, after I was no longer annoyed, then I realized, God, you did this, and I'm grateful to you, and I'm very sorry for the way I treated Patsy. And I don't know if Patsy sensed that I was annoyed, because guys, you can sense that. Of course, you can sense when people don't like you. You can sense when people don't want you around them, right? You can sense that. So I don't know if Patsy sensed it, but if she did not allow my attitude, my behavior, to keep her from being who she is or who she was. A person full of love and compassion and full of joy and peace, and just someone who's going to throw love instead of meanness to people just because of the way they're treating her. That's who she is. Yes, and so I'm hoping that Patsy is still well, she's alive and well today, because like I said at the beginning of the video, the first part, all this took place right after I left the hospital of seeing my relative for the last time, and 5 years ago in January, the last week of January. And so on the streetcar, we were continuing to chat and everything, and it was the conversation. It was so very nice. And then, my stop was coming, and I told Patsy, you know, this is where I'm gonna get off, and so you know, my stop came, and like I said, we were just standing right behind the chauffeur, very close to the entrance. And then my stop came, and I felt so bad, guys, because I didn't want to get off. I wanted to stay there, you know, just talking to Patsy, because you don't want to leave. You don't want to leave the presence of people who bring such a positive atmosphere to your environment. Like, they create positive, just a positive a flow that what comes out of them saturates the environment, and you want to be around that. You want to be in it. Like when you notice, like when you're in the environment of a person who is so angry and full of hatred, you can feel that the tension of what they are. You can feel it existing in the environment that you're in at the time. You don't want to be around that. So people like Patsy are the opposite. They saturate the environment with what they are, which is love and joy and peace and healing. Okay? And so I did not want to leave the streetcar, but I had to go. I had to go. Yep. And so my stop came, and I said, Patsy, guys, I don't remember exactly what I said because it was so long ago, 5 years ago. But I do know that I did tell her, God bless you, and it was so nice talking to you, and you know, I'm gonna pray that you're going to get healed. Because I was talking to her like that. You know, and at no point did she ever stop smiling. Throughout the entire time, she kept smiling, and her words, just the way she was speaking, even the words that were coming out of her mouth, you can feel them. They were so sweet. I'm not saying, like, okay, when I'm not saying like she was saying sweet things. What I'm saying is her, because she is made up of sweetness, even the words, the casual conversation that we were having, all the words that were coming out, you can sense them that they were made up of sweetness because they were coming from her. If you taste honey, it's sweet, right? Why? Because it's coming from a source that is sweet. It's honey. But if you're going to taste something from a lemon, like the juice from lemon or lime, it's going to be sour, right? Or bitter, because it's coming from a lemon or a lime. So it's the same thing with a person like Patsy. Whatever she puts out is what you're going to experience in the atmosphere. Do you understand? Even her words were like that. It's like when a person that says something so harmful to you, it feels as if though, in whichever way, like it feels like an assault. Sometimes it might feel like you get slapped or punched in the stomach or hit in the head. In whichever way you feel that you were assaulted, that's exactly the opposite way is how it happens with people like Patsy. Whatever words they say, even if they're not telling you something sweet, like, oh, you're so nice, you're so wonderful, even if it has nothing to do with giving you a compliment, their words, whatever they're saying in a casual conversation, will still have that effect. It's very of the sweetness, you know. So I wonder if hold on. It's a taxi. I guess I've seen it before. It looks like it's It's a personal taxi. Somebody here has a taxi business. Okay, so yes, guys, I'm wondering if any of you guys have ever met anybody like that. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. We've all experienced people who are so sweet that you can even feel the sweetness when they speak, in the tone of their voice and in the words that come out of their mouth, regardless of what they're saying. Yeah. And so, guys, I really miss Patsy. And guys, there are moments when I'm sad, and I'll just think about Patsy. I'll just say to myself in my head, oh, I remember when I was talking to Patsy on the streetcar, and how much love she was throwing at me, how much love she was enveloping me with. And guys, when I think about that, so much peace comes over me. It's like getting a warm hug from somebody like Patsy who has so much love. A warm, comforting hug where you feel so safe. See, guys, you know the verse in the Bible where God tells us, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another, right? So this is what Patsy does to other people. She sharpens up another person when that person is feeling dull, which means they're down. Whatever they're feeling like, for whatever the reason they're feeling down, a person like Patsy will sharpen them up with the person that they are, their personality. Okay, just being in their presence heals a person. So I'm wondering if there are people like that in your life right now, or if you have ever met people like that. I have met people like that, yeah, in the past when I was a kid too. You know, when I was a little kid, there were children who would come to my school. They would enroll in my school, but they would not be there for too long. Within the year, they would leave again. And I would miss them because they had the same effect. Okay, they were a person. They were people who had a very positive effect on you because of who they were. They brought on a comfort. They were just people who had the ability to heal another person. That's a gift, guys. That's a gift. We all have the ability to do that. But there are some people, guys, who just have this gift turned on 24 hours a day. That's Patsy. And some of the children that I would become friends with who would come to my school, and then they would just leave. It always made me so sad. And sometimes I still think about them. I wonder, where are they? You know, where are they? And there's no way for me to contact them because, you know, I don't know where they are. I don't know their last names anymore. Because most of the kids, those, you know, the little children, they came when I was very small, like grade 3, kindergarten, junior kindergarten. Well, I didn't do junior kindergarten here because I came when I was 5. But my brothers did junior and senior here. You know, and grade 1, you know, a long time ago, even grade 3. So those kids, they were here like for a few months and then they'd leave. So perhaps they were just passing through, I don't know. But I miss those kids. Yeah, there was one child in my grade 3 class, and I really miss her. A lot of kids that I missed that came and left. You know, but yeah, just wondering, guys, if there are any people who have come into your life and affected you in that way, whether it was in the past or the present. Or maybe you have like a special relative, a grandfather or an uncle or a great aunt or a cousin, somebody related to you. Maybe you have somebody like that. Maybe they're not even here anymore. Maybe they went to heaven. I wonder if you guys have anybody like that in your life. And if you do, let me know. And if you guys have experienced something like what I just experienced, that I just explained to you that I experienced from, somebody that I didn't know and who helped me during a time when I was just so very distressed and created such a difference in me for that moment. Have you guys ever experienced that, where somebody that you didn't know made that kind of an impact on your life for that time? Let me know. And so after I got off the streetcar, when I said goodbye to Patsy, my heart was so broken, guys, because I really wanted to stay on the streetcar. And if you guys are wondering, why didn't you exchange emails or whatever? Well, guys, sometimes... Hold on, the wind is blowing. Sometimes you just know that, like, a connection, I don't want to say it's not meant to be, but sometimes you just know that a connection with a person or people at the time is not what should be taking place at that hour, right? Because God will place people in your life for a certain reason for that particular time, and then you must move on. That was the case with Patsy and myself. Right? I wasn't thinking to myself, oh, I don't want to leave here without also exchanging our emails or phone numbers. No, that was not the situation. That's not what God was telling me to do. There was a very strong understanding. God was giving me a very strong understanding of why she was there. The moment like my body, myself calmed down, right away, I understood why I was calmed down. It was because God had brought Patsy into my life at that hour to help me during a time where I was so distressed because I was going through trauma, because my relative was leaving the earth. That's the only reason why he brought her there for that time. It was not for us to connect and to continue on. No, it was just he gave her an assignment without her knowing it. And that's the purpose for her at that hour. That was her assignment from God, whether she knew it or not. She most likely didn't know it. But that was the only reason for why Patsy came into my life at that hour, was to help me during a time when I was so distressed. Okay, that was very, very strong, very clear to me. So I wasn't saddened that I was leaving without getting her phone number. I wasn't. It was just something that I was very grateful for, and I knew that God did that. But it's still sad because it would have been nice, but it wasn't something that I was thinking about at the time. Like I said, it's not something that was meant to be at that hour. Now, at this hour, I wouldn't mind reconnecting with her. I don't know if God is going to allow that, because only God knows why he will allow a certain situation to happen at the time, and why he will not at a later time, if it never does happen again. Do you understand? So, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yes, but I would like to say hello to Patsy, and I'm hoping that she does remember. I hope she does remember, because I gave some very specific details that would let her know that I'm talking about her. You know, I gave very, very detailed information that would let her know that I'm speaking specifically about her. Yep. So guys, if Patsy and I ever reconnect, then I will give you an update and say, hey guys, guess what? Patsy sent me a message. Yeah. And yeah, well, you know, I'll let you guys know if I ever do see her again. So, yep. Toronto's a great place, guys. If you ever think about traveling to some place, I would suggest to come to Toronto. Now, of course, guys, everywhere in the world, you know, there are great places to go everywhere. I'm just saying, you know, Toronto is a really wonderful place too. Yes, one thing I noticed about Toronto, people are so funny here. Now, what they say about Canadians and being very polite, believe it. They are very, very polite. I don't know if you guys have seen some of my other videos. Okay, if you hear that noise, that's a car ascending from the underground parking. So if you guys have seen some of my videos where I'm outside, you know, just filming outside, and I'll be stopped somewhere filming in a certain, I'll just be stopped, right? And I'll be filming, and then somebody, like a citizen, will just be walking, and then they notice me filming, and then they'll just stop, and they'll wait, and they just want to stop and wait until I'm finished. They think I'm taking a picture. So then I will look over to them and I'll say, oh no, go ahead, it's all right. And then they'll keep going, and because they don't want to, you know, they're afraid to ruin my shot. And I'll just tell them, it's okay, just keep going. Like that just happened in one of my videos, the latest videos of me going when I went to Little India downtown. Well, not downtown, it's just half an hour, 15 minutes from where I live. And then other shots, in the same video, you'll also see a really tall man duck down. So that will happen sometimes in my videos when people they see me filming, they'll just duck all the way down and then they'll keep going. That's so funny. Yes. Guys, I'm going to stop here and then start up again, because for some of you guys who don't know, my camera stops recording every 29 minutes and 49 seconds, so I'm going to stop here.